They said it couldn't be done. They said a person would have to be crazy, off the rails, off their rocker, completely out of it, maybe even stupid, to make another jam. Those people were right. I'm Amalgamash. Welcome back to the channel. I am hosting the Mega Minutia 2021 jam. This jam will take place throughout the month of July. It will begin on the 1st of July, and I believe submissions will end on the 15th or 20th of July. I have not selected an end date yet. I kind of want to see what community feedback has to offer before I go that route, but it will definitely end somewhere in that window of time, and it will end July 30th. This jam will offer you the chance to submit your project that you made in a broader variety of engines than any other jam that I've hosted so far. You will be able to submit your project if it was made in RPG Maker MV or RPG Maker MZ. This time you don't need to use the MZ3D or MV3D plugins, and this is probably the only jam, the only time of year that I will be willing to play these games unless I have picked out a developer that I really want to follow and I'm willing to look at their work on the channel. The reason for this is that I'm not an RPG Maker channel. I showcase a lot and I really have a very firm belief in the MZ3D and MV3D plugins, so I kind of want to be exclusive on those, but I will play games submitted to this jam if they were made in those engines this time. Smile Game Builder, of course. So if you are making a Smile Game Builder game but regrettably won't be able to submit it to the SGB Summer 2021 Game Jam, you can submit it to this one and it will be fine. You can also submit your project if it was made in RPG Paper Maker, Pixel Game Maker, MV, RenP, Visual Novel Maker, RPG Wizard, or GB Studio. These are all quite templated, no-code game engines. I know that I'm actually missing one. You can also submit your game if it was made in RPG in a box, which is available on itch for $25. Now, some of these engines are free, some of them you have to go buy, some of them are on sale at different times during the year, but they are all definitely accepted in this game jam. So now that I have announced my game jam for July, we're just going to go over the rules, and they're all here. So you can pause the video, you can read them at your own speed, and then you can skip through until you see me talking about something else. Amalgamash's jams are always jams that are more than just game jams. They are special jams that allow the submission of games, demos, proof of concepts, visual novels, gamified advertisements, stories, and even assets made by or for game engines. This is always going to be true of the jams that I host going forward. They're not going to be traditional, very short, quick window challenge type game jams. If you want to challenge yourself, you're more than welcome to join any of the thousands of game jams that are always on itch.io every single day, or you can wait until the last minute and then submit to mine. I will definitely recognize the effort. You do have to use a specific engine, yet the short list of engines that I have provided are the only engines that will be admitted into the jam. So games made or proof of concepts or demos, visual novels, whatever, if it was made in one of these engines, it will be allowed into the game jam. What happens after you submit, after the submission period ends, again, I'm not sure when that will be, so we will revisit that topic. I will play or showcase all the submissions on my channel. One submission per video per day until all of the entries have been broadcast. After that, a montage video will be made to commemorate the entries and a winner will be selected and announced. I have not yet decided how the winner will be selected, so I think I'm going to look at the results of the Smile Game Builder Summer 2021 Game Jam and see kind of if the community route was the right way to go. See if people are voting on each other's stuff, if they like that, if they're engaged with that. If so, perfect. Probably go with that again. For the participant prizes, each participant of a qualified entry will receive the official counterfeit jam trophy made exclusively for jam participants, a special role in the Amalgam Archive Discord. I'm going to be creating a role. It doesn't really have much more access or anything like that than anybody else already has. In fact, my channel, my Discord server is pretty open, but I will definitely give you that badge of honor that you can wear for the year, and a video showcasing your project on my channel, which all of these engines are ones that I plan on making videos for anyway, but this is a way for you to jumpstart any exposure that you would like. If you consider that sort of thing valuable, if you just want me to play your game and give you feedback while I'm playing, I'm more than happy to do that as well. Plus, I don't know, there's a little bit more of a feeling of community whenever you submit your project to a game jam. And then if I'm playing the game in my game jam series and I'm mentioning that, it's here in this group, to me, that gives it a little bit more soul. It gives it a little bit more flavor than just, I found this game, 3 years after it was developed and now I'm playing it. It gives the community a chance to jump on the game now, and you can see the comments now as opposed to 3 years from now when I find it later. and get the feedback that might be valuable to you now. Is there a grand prize? I know, I hear you all asking all the time, Ash, what do you get for winning the jam? It's like, you don't get squat. Can't you just enjoy having your work submitted in a jam? Can't you just enjoy the feeling of No, I guess exposure doesn't pay the bills, right? That's fine. A special jam trophy made exclusively for the winner by me. Bragging rights for a year. You'll also get the Amalgam Archive Discord title and more prizes to come, because I don't actually have prizes lined out yet. I do know that I'd like to do a modest cash prize for this jam. I don't want to advertise what that might be yet. Right now, I'm just trying to get the message out there. Official rules. Your submission cannot contain material that you don't have the rights to distribute. This should be a given, but people do it anyway. You have to have the appropriate license or permission to use all the materials in your submission. Your submission must be free and has to remain free as long as it's in the jam. That's just an itch rule in general. It has, it's got to be accessible. If you don't want it to be accessible after the jam, that's kind of up to you. I always encourage you to leave it up. If you've got a special jam version or a demo version of your project that's not going to be commercial, then put that out there and then have your full version for commercial elsewhere. That way we can always play the free one, you know? I think that's a better idea. Mature themes are okay. No explicit sexual content. We're not doing a hentai game jam or anything like that. A censored version of your NSFW game may be accessible, as long as the focus is on gameplay. If it's a visual novel, then that's fine too. Contact me with details if you want to submit. If you're not sure, we can talk it out. I can let you know if it's a yes or a no. No big deal. You got nothing to fear. You have to allow me to play and showcase your submission on my YouTube and or Twitch channels. I might actually be active on Twitch one of these days. And of course, my Odyssey channel mirrors my YouTube, so it'll be on Odyssey as well. Your submission has to be made in the engines listed above or for developers who want to use those engines. So you are more than welcome to submit assets that you have made, maybe a demo pack or a sample pack of assets that you want to make commercially available. And you can submit that to the jam and I'll give it its own video. I'll give you that exposure. No cost to you. All you have to do is submit some assets, bro, or cis, or siblings of other genders. If you're submitting assets, they must specify in which engines they can be used, and they have to be ready. They have to be import ready. So like if you're doing graphics for Smile Game Builder, they have to meet the specifications of the graphics so that the user can import them and use them immediately. If you're doing assets for RPG Maker, they've got to be sized. If it's a sprite, you have to have all your walking animations in there. It's got to be ready to go. Don't just throw a bunch of graphics up in a grid and be like, they're free icons. We're not doing that. Do your homework. You know what I mean? Sorry, that came off. That came off probably confrontational. Can I submit a project if I've already uploaded it somewhere else? Yes, but only if it's had a significant update. That way it is special for the jam. Please understand, if you made it for the jam or you updated it so that you could submit it to the jam, those are equally special things. That constitutes jam submission. That's good. That's a good thing. If you took a project that you made like a month ago and you just want to throw it in the jam for exposure, I will take it out and you will be disqualified. This is a bit of a dubious one. My project is a fan project that contains copyrighted assets, but I'm not charging money for it. Can I submit it? This is completely going to go against rule number 1 of the jam. If you submit your game to the jam, I want to use a specific example here. Somebody in the MV community is making a SpongeBob tribute. I would love to play that. I don't mind if you want to submit that to the jam. It just can't win any prizes. It'll be disqualified from winning. But for the exposure and to put your name out there as a dev and say, I can do this, I'm totally fine with that. And I'll still play the game and I'll still showcase it. I might need to quiet the audio if you're using music that I can't put on the channel, but I'll still play the game and I'll still make a video about it. If you have any other questions, you can contact me on Discord. And if you want to use assets of any kind, as long as you have the permission to do it, it's totally allowable. If there are any other questions that are frequently asked, or even questions that are obvious that I should have known about, I'll make sure that they go in the frequently asked questions list, and I will put a link in the description below to the Mega Minutia 2021 Game Jam. I hope to see you there, because I think that pitting these engines against one another and these devs, these very, very interesting and talented devs against one another, in a battle to the death. Did I say battle to the death? Putting these very interesting and talented minds up against one another to see what they can do in their respective limitations is a point of interest. We'll go with that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you with some video games or some other nonsense tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye.